But let's talk about President Trump, because almost the 60-day legal clock for U.S. military action against Iran officially expires today. It ends today, and that is the 1st of May. And under the War Powers Resolution, the president must now secure the congressional approval or begin with a full military withdrawal. However, the White House is challenging that very mandate, and the administration claims that the 60-day timer has effectively been paused because of the active strikes have now subsided. Now, Team Trump has been arguing since the kinetic phase has cooled off, the legal requirements to pull back is no longer triggered, and the message from the Pentagon is firm that the U.S. is not currently at war. Capitol Hill is now striking back against that very logic, where the Democrats have been arguing that the law is absolute and the clock cannot be paused by a temporary ceasefire, where they insist that without any formal vote and the continued deployment is a direct violation of their very constitution. Now, as far as the developments are concerned, we also talk about Team Trump that says that 60-day timer, which has effectively been paused because there is no active military bombing that has been taking place. Let's tell you what the 60-day time limit is concerned, because the U.S. says that we are technically not at war because there is a ceasefire that has been announced. But what does the law say? Now, there are curbs on the president's unilateral war powers as well, because it has been passed after the Vietnam War backlash. For decades, the U.S. was fighting against Vietnam. And if the troops are deployed into hostile, environment, then the president must rather inform the Congress within 2 days. And also being said that the deployment without approval, that means for 60 days is maximum that the military action can continue. But here is what is now seeking balances, especially when it comes to the powers of the executive and also of the legislator. Now, when we speak of President Trump, he seems to be doubling down on his hardline stance against Tehran, claiming that the Iranian economy is in a state of total collapse. He seems to be asserting that a tightened U.S. naval blockade is hitting the regime where it hurts them the most, effectively choking off oil revenue as the Brent crude prices have touched another high of $111.5 per barrel. And that seems to be what he maintains, that Iran is now in a bad shape with the financial lifelines that has been severed and its nuclear ambitions completely obliterated by the recent U.S. pressure that has been building on them. While tensions in the regions continue to escalate, the White House insists that the strategy of maximum pressure seems to be working. Now, for now, the administration shows no sign of backing down and signaling a long and difficult road ahead for any potential negotiations with Tehran. Well, that is the development that seems to be taking up. Of course, remains to be seen exactly what happens from here on. Will there be dialogue and diplomacy, or will the military strikes resume? We're going to head into a very short break. You're watching Times Now.